Hi, this is Jeannie Ortega with BREATHEcast, and I'm here at the Empire Hotel with the lead actor of the new film, Killing Jesus, Haaz Sleiman. Thank you so much for meeting with BREATHEcast. I'm excited to talk about the film. National Geographic has jumped on, and it's been an incredible experience, I'm sure. So what can you tell us about the film, Killing Jesus?
Oh, it's surreal. I mean, I can't believe today is the premiere, and we started, well, I think the book came out in 2013. Then Waylon Green adapted it into a screenplay sometime January last year. 6 months later, I think they went into production. I got cast in September, flew in September, or end of August, and then flew in September to Morocco, filmed for 2 months, finished November of just last year, and here we are, and it's going to air on TV this Sunday. I mean, that's insanity. I mean, the amount of time that this was made is incredible.
Insane. And I gotta ask you, you played Jesus. What a role. How was that? The pressure? Like, how do you feel playing such a role like that?
I've never in my life been so alive as much as I was playing this role. Alive is what I best can describe it. It just like, I was so excited. I was like a big kid, full of excitement, passion, and just love, and I couldn't wait to do it. I was also terrified and mortified at the same time. So it's like, you know, wow, what makes me human, right? Like, yeah, on one side I'm like, yes, I can't wait, and on the other side, oh my God, can I do this? Like, am I good enough? Do I trust myself? Wow. And profoundly enough, it was Jesus that actually made me be able to go through the whole thing. Yeah. Him, what he stood for, his teachings, and all of that is what gave me actually the believe in myself and to, you know, go through that journey, because it's a lot of pressure. There's 2.2 billion Christians in the world, and the story is so powerful. It goes beyond people who are of the Christian faith. Just everyone. Love transcends all. Yeah.
And I want to ask you about that, because I'm reading everywhere. I know you grew up in Lebanon, and I'm reading everywhere that you were raised Muslim. So that's very unique to have someone that is from a completely different, you know, faith, play Jesus. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I mean, is that still the case? And if so, how was just taking on such a role like that for someone who's a leader in another faith?
Yeah, I was raised Muslim. I think it's such a beautiful thing that a person like myself, raised Muslim, gets to play such an iconic, important, historic, religious figure, probably the most famous man in the world in the history of mankind. I would say, like, another way to explain how beautiful this is, it's no different from having a rabbi, a priest, and a sheikh sitting under the same roof and having only but love for one another. Mm. That's another way I can put it. And so for me, a lot of people, whoever was not really happy about my casting or had issues with the fact that I was raised Muslim, I mean, number one, Jesus is mentioned in the Quran more than Muhammad, and he comes before Muhammad. And also, God in Judaism, in Christianity, and in Islam is the same God. Mm-hmm. It just has a different name because of the language. So Jesus in Arabic in the Quran is Isa, but it's Jesus. God is Allah, but a lot of people think that it's a different God. It's the same God and same prophets. Now, clearly, Muhammad came after Christianity was established, and it came in the establishment of Islam. But even with all of that, the ability to sit down with one another and have love for one another, even if we're different, even if we believe in different things, is what it's all about, and is what Jesus was all about. And for me, being cast and put in this position is really an opportunity for us to build bridges. And I think it's wonderful. Yeah.
I gotta ask you about that, because you hear all different types of stories when it comes to people that embrace different faiths. Did you get any pushback from your Muslim family about it, or were there everyone was supportive?
Oh no, I mean, my mom, when I found out, like, I called my mother, which is because I have a very strong connection with my mother. You know, I love her dearly, and she's somebody very important to me. And funny enough, Jesus had a very strong connection to his mother. And I'm so proud of, you know, the scenes that were written by Waylon Green, and that how they translated on film. They're beautiful, and it just shows the humanity of his experience as a human being, you know, and his choice of coming into this world as a human being, and the journey of that into his divinity. So for me, it's like having moments like that and being able to show that is just another way of really highlighting what he came to do and to show us, which is we human beings are beautiful, we're magnificent, we're capable of so much, and we're very powerful. And I hope that when people watch it and they walk away, they feel good about being human and not feel weak or incapable or not being able to think that they can trust themselves and what they can do. And there's so many people out there in the world that are great examples of that today.
You know, just hearing you, I can tell that just the role has influenced your life, and just kind of how you talk and even talking about it. This will be our last question, but I have to ask you.
I forgot to tell you, you're asking me about my mother and my family, right?
No, but you said you guys were very supportive. Go ahead, tell me.
She's very, and when I spoke to her, she's like, bless you, my son, for playing our prophet, peace be upon him. I mean, it was just so beautiful and and simple and just powerful. And I mean, they couldn't be prouder. Are you kidding me? Like, really, if you really think about it, there's not one person that wouldn't be honored to be in my position. Really.
Well, I was going to ask you that, and you kind of went there.
Because that story really is not just for Christians. This story is for everybody. It's a story about love.
That's right. Well, thank you so much, Haaz. I mean, it sounds, just hearing you talk about Jesus is inspiring. And I got to say, you definitely certainly look more like what I would think Jesus looked like than a lot of the stuff that you see out there. And I really appreciated that. And
yeah,
just
that was like, kudos to Nat Geo, National Geographic, and everyone else involved, from Bill O'Reilly to Chris Manal, the director. I mean, they all really wanted to be as authentic as possible in telling the story, which meant also the casting and everything else, from set to clothes to, you know, the actual historic facts that were all researched, heavily researched, you know, during this whole process. Yeah.
And one last thing, your Sermon on the Mount is so passionate, so I can't wait for everyone out there to see it. And thank you so much for sitting down with BREATHecast. God bless
breathe.
you.
People breathe. It's all about air. Breathe that air.
That's right. Thank you so much. All right. You guys make sure you catch Killing Jesus on National Geographic Sunday. And I can't wait.
Sunday, March 29th on National Geographic at 8 p.m.
Lock it. All right. Take care.